Suki. On spot.
Yes, please. Like a big pop. This is the time, go, go. It's gonna be like, oh my God, we're gonna have a baby. Hey everyone, how are you all? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Dorsak and this is my husband Lior.
What's up, guys?
And we have Suki here and our son Fox right there, yeah, chilling. So if you hear like a background noise, this is him. And today we're gonna give you the full-on story of the birth of Fox. I've already shared the vlog, so if you watch that and now you want a little bit more details, this is the perfect video for you. Or if you haven't watched it, it's better to watch this one first and then go ahead and check the vlog out, and then you'll pretty much understand everything in the background, what happened. So yeah, let's get started.
Let's do it.
So I feel like we need to start off by saying that I always wanted to do an unmedicated birth. I don't know why. I always felt like I want to feel the actual pushing and the baby coming out of my vagina. I just wanted to feel it because I knew that back then, like 50, 100 years ago, there wasn't any other option. So I thought to myself, if they could do it, I want to try to do it myself. And if it's not going to work out, that's fine, but at least I want to try. So that's basically why we went with the unmedicated route. And I'm so happy I did. It was really not as bad as I thought. So it was a really great experience. Now for the story. Where should we start? So everything started when I went to my OB appointment. I think it was a Thursday around 7 p.m. And up until then, I didn't feel any contraction. So basically we call them surges because we went to a hypnobirthing course that Lior found, and I'm so happy you did because it helped us a lot to bond as a couple and know what I want and basically just prepare us to that day, and also gave me really good tools to help like manage pain through labor. Basically, a surge is less intimidating word. That's why I'm calling it surges. That's basically why I'm mentioning it. So she noticed I'm having a surge and she said, oh, I didn't mean to check you. Maybe I should check you just to see if you dilated already or if there is any progress basically. So she checked me and I was 2 centimeters dilated. I think it was 80% effaced and the baby was already like in -1. So she's been telling me that it might still take a while. It can take even like up to 2 weeks like that, but there is a progress. Everything is going to the right direction. So I thought, okay, nothing is going to happen. So I wasn't really prepared for labor really soon. We went home after the appointment. It was already really late and I went to the toilet and I noticed my mucus plug came out. Something is really going on, but again, I didn't really expect it to be that soon. So that's pretty much where everything started. The next day was a Friday. I've been working all day. I've been noticing some surges, but nothing really major, nothing consistent. So I thought, okay, maybe it's a Braxton Hicks, or maybe it's just like the really early stages of like labor, but I didn't think of anything of it. And then we had dinner here on the couch for the first time in this house. Like Friday evening, it started to be more serious and we took it a little bit more seriously. But again, it wasn't consistent, so we went to sleep. Nothing really happened until 5 a.m. when I woke up because I had a really bad contraction surge, and I immediately woke you up, told you, listen, I just woke up because I had a really bad contraction and I think it's a serious one. Like it's a different one than what I've had so far. It's a lot stronger. Yeah, it woke me up. It was that strong. I told him I'm gonna go and take a shower. So basically I wanted to take a bath, and I think in the video I said a bath, but it wasn't a bath, it was a shower. And I just stood in the shower for like, I think an hour. I had like 3 or 4 contractions there, surges, trying to managing the pain, and the water really helped me. So I was just staying there while Lior was packing everything and preparing to leave to the hospital. Again, we didn't know at that stage if we're gonna leave to the hospital. We just thought, just in case, let's just start packing everything. I had most of the things packed.
Right.
Everything was kind of ready, but the last few things, you were preparing like the cameras and everything because I knew I wanted to have footage of it. So up until 9, it was still manageable in terms of pain. I felt like it wasn't so serious, but around 9, I felt like they were getting stronger and I'm less able to do anything while I'm in the middle of the surge. So I thought, okay, I think this is it. Like, that's when I realized this is the day. I think I'm gonna give birth today.
Timing contractions.
Yeah, I started timing contractions, and we noticed it was like 5 minutes or 6 minutes apart.
6 minutes apart.
6 minutes apart. And we knew that because of the hospital is like 35-40 minutes away, and it's the middle of the day, so we knew we didn't want to wait that long before going to the hospital. I didn't want to be super like anxious going there. So we thought that once it will be like 5 minutes apart, that's the time we're going to go to the hospital. But it wasn't quite there yet, so we knew, okay, let's just wait a little bit, but it's probably it. Let's just like wait a little bit longer so we won't get to the hospital too early. So we decided to go for a coffee and eat something, because that morning I had like a really bad diarrhea, and that's like another thing that made it clear for me that this is the day, because the course they told us that usually the body will clean itself before labor, so it's either like throwing up or having like a really bad diarrhea, just like basically clearing the systems. And I've been experiencing diarrhea that morning, so it was another thing that was kind of like reassuring that this is the day. So we put everything in the car. We also took a picture, because I told her, listen, it might be the last day that we're going to be just the two of us, or the three of us, basically with Suki. We went to have a coffee. He brought me like a little bit of food, like a few scones, which were
on spot.
So good. I need a break. Coffee. 1 second.
I called the hospital to see what they recommend us doing, if to come or to wait a little longer. Our doctor wasn't working that day. Saturday. Eventually we got a midwife, which was on call, but yeah, so I called them, the hospital. Nice secretary put me on hold for about 30 minutes. Yeah, the experience like calling the hospital was horrible. Right.
We got no answers, so
we just decided to go to the hospital.
Yeah. We got to the hospital. We walked to the 3rd floor, which was the triage basically. And we got to like a small room, and a nurse came in to like check me out. And I remember she was super stressed just because nobody told her we're coming. That's basically because nobody answers the phone in the car when we try to. So she was like surprised that we got in, and then the computer kind of crashed, so she was like super stressed. The nurse was kind of like struggling, and she was frustrated, and I was frustrated, and just wanted to go to the natural birth suite. But basically we got to the triage. She checked me, and I was 4 to 5 centimeters dilated.
Right.
So I was like, yes, I knew it. I knew this is the right time. And that's where I realized, oh my God, we're gonna have a baby. We're gonna be parents today.
Right.
It was, I was so emotional.
Right, so that was 11:45 when she checked you for the first time. We stayed in the triage for about an hour. They did a couple of tests. One of the tests was a COVID test.
Yes.
Which Dor didn't really like, but
it wasn't that bad, but it just...
We didn't get the results until we got to the birthing suite. Basically, we're in triage for about an hour. Dor was having really strong contractions.
It was like the worst part of the entire labor part, like the whole experience, the whole process, just because I wasn't comfortable. I wasn't in my room that I knew I'm gonna give birth in, so I didn't even took my shoes off. I think she checked me right before they came and picked me up to the 4th floor where the natural birthing center is. And that's where I was like 6 to 7 centimeters dilated. So it was like 11:45. 12:45. But that's where everything starts to be like more of a blur. So luckily we have Dior here to help me out. Yeah. And I'm happy that we're doing it now when it's like 6 weeks after I gave birth, because I think in a month from now I won't remember anything. So the lovely nurse from the natural birthing center came and picked me up. We went to the 4th floor, and we got settled into my room. So basically at that hospital you get a room, and that's the room where you go through labor, you give birth, and recover up until the time that you go home. So everything happened in that room. So I'm so happy that we didn't need to move anywhere else. It was super convenient.
I started setting up the room.
Yeah.
I put a diffuser on.
Yeah, you put a diffuser on.
It was lavender eucalyptus.
Lavender eucalyptus.
For some reason, I brought a bag that had like Christmas lights or whatever lights.
It was more like of a garden lights.
Garden lights. I don't know why, but I just had them in
I had no idea that we have something like that at home, and he had it like by mistake, like by coincidence in his bag. It was so nice. It was like dim, and there was a mood over there. Like we basically, you set up the mood, and it was a good mood. Like I really enjoyed it. As soon as we got to the suite, they asked me, do you want to go into the bath? And I was like, yes, please do it as fast as possible. I need to be in water. It will help me out with the pain.
In the meanwhile, you were standing, trying to loosen up your hips and your lower back because you had intense pain over there. And once the bathtub was full, you pretty much just dropped your clothes off.
I don't remember any of it.
Jumped into the water. When you were in the water for the first 5 minutes, I was taking advantage of that and started setting up the cameras. What's up? You want to come? Come here. And yeah, you went through being dilated from 6 to 7 centimeters all the way up to 10 in the water.
I remember they checked me as soon as I got into the water, and it was like 8. And shortly after, she checked me again. I think I don't know, maybe a half an hour later. And it was like, okay, we're close to 10. You can start pushing. You don't have to, but you can if you feel like you need to, something like that.
When you were in the bathtub, the nurse came in and said the COVID test results came back negative.
Woohoo!
And they changed the policy regarding what happens if you get a negative result, and they let us be without a mask. That was amazing. Another thing that happened when you got into the water.
Hello, buddy. Hello. Not fair, you're getting both of them?
Yeah, we brought Foxy here because he was a little fussy. So another thing that happened when you were in the bath was the nurse asked you if you wanted laughing gas. So you gave it a shot. You took a few inhales and you didn't really feel anything.
It was so painful at that moment that I didn't want to deal with anything. I just want to concentrate, and it was completely distracting for me. So I remember just I don't want it, just take it away from me.
And then what happened was that you were basically in the bathtub for almost an hour and a half.
Really? It was that long?
Yeah.
It felt like 10 minutes.
The last part that you were in the bathtub, you started pushing.
I remember that.
You remember that because that's when your water broke.
Oh, the water. So they kept asking, did your water break? Did your water break? And we were like, no. I was just worried because I was expecting the water to break. So basically, when I think it was 8 or 9 centimeters, really towards the end, right before I started pushing, I felt and heard a big pop. It was as if I have a balloon in my vagina, and it exploded basically. So it wasn't painful at all. I didn't feel it. It was just I could hear it. I could feel the explosion. It wasn't painful at all.
So at that stage, the midwife and the nurses already moved all the equipment to the bathtub area because they were thinking that you're gonna deliver in the bath.
I was hoping to deliver in the water. It was my dream, but it didn't happen.
So you started pushing actually in the bathtub, but then you had this 5-minute break that the nurses took advantage of it and told you, all right, this is the time to get out of the water and start pushing on the bed.
I remember the lady from the hypnobirthing said it, that right after you finish the transition stage and right before pushing, there's a gracing period where your body really gain strength just for the pushing part. So I felt like that was the moment, that those 5 minutes that I had no pain, everything was kind of on hold. So they noticed it. I knew what this is about. So I knew once these 5 minutes will be over, that's the time where I'll probably need to push. So that's exactly what happened. They preferred me to give birth outside of the bath. It's just a hospital policy. So they drained the water. I remember my knees were in so much pain. I really wanted to find a position that will release the pain. So I was kind of happy, to be honest, to be outside of the water at that point. We were trying so many positions just because for some reason my tailbone, I couldn't bear the pain in my tailbone, and it was, you know, just probably his head pushing on it or something. But every time I tried to push, I felt like a sharp pain on my tailbone. It was horrible. The nurses really tried to help me, and we tried so many positions. I don't remember. On the vlog you can see some of them, but we tried at least like 10 different positions, I remember. Yep. And every time I tried to like move to a different position, it was like the entire staff trying to move me around because I was so heavy and I have zero strength at that point. I was just like so tired. You were so nice and trying to help me throughout the process. You were amazing, just putting it out there. I'm so lucky to have a birth partner like you.
Thank you.
Nothing helped. Nothing helped. I was just like crying. My tailbone, my back.
That was at 3 p.m. In between the transition from the bed to the bed, I had to reposition all the cameras.
I really wanted the footage of him coming out of me. I just wanted that footage. I didn't care about anything else. I just wanted that memory to be documented.
Then you were basically pushing like a lion for about an hour.
Yeah, it was a long time.
4 o'clock or like 5 to 4. You're in your last pushes, and we noticed that one of the cameras was out of battery and wasn't filming, which was the main camera. And I looked at you, and
I noticed it. You noticed it,
and you're like, "All right, listen, I'm not gonna push until you." So luckily, we were able to do that.
He was like, go, 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 go. And I was like, this is the time, go, go. So basically the last position was him holding me from the back, and I was sitting on a stool. Right. Maybe it was you comforting me from the back and supporting me. I'm sure that was a part of it. And also the fact that I was sitting pretty low and I had control of my body somehow, that position. So that really helped. And I was loud the entire time. I was pretty vocal. I always thought I was going to be like one of those women that's very composed and very quiet and in the zone. And like, I was in the zone, but I was very loud as well, like very.
Right.
I was vocal, but I don't care. It helped me, like the being vocal helped me. So I just embraced it. He came out at 4:02, but
this little guy came out.
I just want to say something about the last push. The last push is where you feel like you can really, that's it. Like that's where your body like is done basically. So that's where you know you have to push because you have no more power within you to continue. So the nurse noticed it, and she was like holding me from the front, right? Give me another like counter pressure, and you holding me from the back, and we all knew this, like it has to happen now because I can't take it anymore. It wasn't like the pain, it was just I was so tired. I have no strength. That's it. That's where I also like really like screamed, because I remember doing the research before giving birth naturally that there's something called the ring of fire, which is basically when the head pushed through. So obviously it's like a huge pressure on the vagina basically. So I remember feeling that burn, but it's only for a few seconds, so I don't want to scare anyone. It's just the peak of the pain, and it's just for like a second or two. So that's what you probably see in the video as well. Me screaming. It's probably the part where I'm tearing as well, because everything was so slow and I was opening up really slowly, and it was good for the tearing part. But the last push, even though the midwife said try to do it in 2 pushes, like one the head and then wait, and then another one for the body, just so you won't tear that much. And I was so tired. I didn't care that moment that I'm gonna tear. I just wanted him out of me. I was so tired. I knew I can't do another push, so I just did it at once. So I think that's where when I tore, and I tore like 2nd degree, but it really wasn't that bad. That's basically the birth, like the labor part and the delivery. And after I gave birth, it was 4:02. It was very emotional. I couldn't believe that actually I was having a baby, that the baby was inside of me and now he's out and he's my son. It was completely crazy. I remember saying like, what just happened? What? I gave birth. He was on my belly, and we asked for like delayed cord clamping, just so all the blood will flood into his system. And then you cut the cord and let us know how it feels, because I have no idea.
It just feels like rubber. I'm just cutting rubber.
Also, they gave you scissors that didn't really work, so it was like
really dull. Really dull scissors.
It took like good minutes for you to be able to cut it. We had like a few minutes sitting down, and then they moved me back to the bed. And as soon as I moved to the bed, I had another like a small contraction, and the midwife noticed it and she said, okay, that's your placenta, just push a little bit. And I remember like it was really easy. You don't feel anything. Once your baby's on you, that's where you're done. So I gave birth to my placenta basically. They didn't show it to me, which I'm kind of bummed about. I wanted to see how it looks like, but maybe I'll remember next time. The one thing I remember right before she started stitching me up is that the nurse was really pushing hard on my belly, and I remember it was kind of painful. I didn't like that at all, and I was like, please leave me alone, I want to be with my baby. And she's like, I have to do it. We need to make sure everything came out and everything is clean and clear. Then my midwife started like the stitching part, which took about an hour, and I would say it's not pleasant. I didn't like it at all. I just wanted to bond with my baby, and then you need to like go through the stitching part. It was so annoying. I didn't expect it. Nobody told me it's gonna take a long time. I thought it's gonna be like that's it, you're done. But no, it took an hour. So be prepared that it might take a while. So yeah, once we were done, we bonded with Fox. It was amazing, and I immediately felt amazing again right after.
Right.
Like I was so tired, and then suddenly I have all the power in the world. I'm super awake, I'm super happy, as if nothing happened. It was just amazing. Like nature is just incredible.
Yeah, so you were having skin to skin with him
for a long time. I didn't want to let him go.
For about 2 hours. You were nursing him for the first time also.
Oh yeah, it was such an amazing experience.
Cool experience to see. I don't know what it was to feel, but it was amazing to see how.
It wasn't like, I didn't feel anything because he didn't really like sucked anything yet, but it was crazy to see that they like, I put him on my chest and he knew what to do. Like he knew to go towards.
He literally moved.
Yeah, he's like
towards your nipple.
Towards the nipple, and then like open his mouth and like try to suck. And it was so amazing.
That was incredible.
So amazing. This whole process is just like mind-blowing. Like, right. Wow. I couldn't ask for a better experience. Let's put it that way. I had the best staff, the best midwife, the best nurse, the best birthing partner, the best hospital.
And the best baby.
The best baby. Best baby. You were such an amazing pusher.
Yeah, he was working hard also.
He was working hard. Like it was like a team effort. I was super lucky to have the birth of my dreams, and it was an amazing experience. I just want to mention like how good of an experience it was, because when I posted the vlog, people like I didn't really speak. There wasn't a lot of context there. So some comments were like, oh my God, oh, I'm so sorry for her. She's having so much pain. I'm like, no, this is like the best that you can ever ask for, because yeah, you will be in pain, but that's what I wanted. I wanted to go through the natural route, no medication, and it was perfect. Feel free to ask me questions in the comments below, because I know when I was pregnant, I had so many questions. It's just nice to have someone that can answer those questions. So I'm here for you. Leave the questions down and I'll get back to you. And yeah, if you have questions for Lior as a partner as well, we're here to help. I hope that was useful and helpful for you guys. You got some extra details, extra information.
And just don't forget to subscribe and like this video.
It helps me a lot.
We can create more content like this for you guys.
Yeah, just support us. We will make more of these videos, and let us know what you think. And let's say hi to Fox before we say goodbye.
Look at the camera right over there.
Give him a kiss.
Yep. Love you.
Thank you again, and see you in my next video. Bye.